Hello and welcome to session 27 of Direct Tax 2, 4th semester BCom of Mangalore University. Now in this particular session, we are going to solve a problem on business income. We have already seen the theory of business income, meaning of business, meaning of profession, meaning of vocation. Then we have gone through a session on format of computing business income. Then we have looked at which are the expenses which are allowed as deduction, that is under section 30 to section 37. Then we have also seen a list of deductions which were expenses which are disallowed under section 40. Then we have had a session on deemed income and also computation of profession income, the format for computation of profession income. So now in this session, we are going to solve problem on business income. So let's have a look at this problem. Mr. Deepak is the proprietor of a business. His profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2019 is as follows. So to opening stock is given 20,000, to purchases 1,02,000 to 550. Then to rent and rates is given 2,900, general charges 1,750, household expenses 730. Establishment expenses 1,500, customs duty paid 1,450, provision for bad debt 1,200, postage and telegram 270, law charges 450, advertising 1,550, gifts to employees 150, fire insurance it's given for goods 360, then we have audit fees 300, salaries 3,000, repairs not for business premises is given 480. Then loss on sale of car. This car is used for private purposes. It's given 1,800. Life insurance premium 1,790. Wealth tax 740. Interest on capital 350. Interest on bank loan 1,080. Provision for depreciation 2,500. Provision for tax 3,900. Then we are given a net profit of 3,46,840. Then on the payment side, we are given with sales by closing stock, by interest on tax-free Government of India bonds worth 2,000, by dividend from foreign companies, net amount is given 3,000. Then interest on Karnataka government loan, gross amount is 2,400. Interest on fixed deposit in SBI, net amount is given 18,000. Then by dividend on preference shares of Reliance company, 3,000 is given. By rent from house property, 1,06,400. By discount received 750, by commission received 250, by income tax refund 1000. So total both the sides is 4,77,640. Following further information is given. Actual bad debts written off during the year amounted to rupees 550. Amount of income tax actually paid during the year is rupees 4,200. Depreciation allowable is rupees 1,900 as per income tax rules. Salaries include rupees 200 per month drawn by Mr. Deepak as salary. Deepak is the proprietor of the business. He himself is giving salary to him. Advertising expenses include 1,550 spent on special advertising campaign to open a new shop in the market. Law charges are in connection with the protection of a trademark. General expenses include 1,000 paid to a chartered accountant in connection with income tax appeal before appellate tribunal and rupees 850 being cost of installing new telephones. GST of rupees 20,000 for the previous year 1920 was paid on 15th of January 2020 but not included in the above profit and loss account. Mr. Deepak carries on his business from rented premises, half of which is used as his residence. Rent rates and taxes include 2,600 paid as rent for the premises during the year. Business loan is taken for the business purpose. Bank loan is taken for business purpose. So the question asked is, compute the business income that is for the assessment year 2021. Assessment year 2021 is previous year 1920. Now, very important point that we need to take care of when we are solving problems on business income, that is, provisions are disallowed. Any kind of provision, any kind of reserves are disallowed. Only actual payments are considered for the computation of business taxable business income. Now, first we will draw the format. So the question is to calculate business income. So I record over here solution. I write computation of business income. Computation of business income for the previous year 1920. For the previous year 1920. So I draw two amount columns which we will need for calculation. So two amount columns we will need, and we will take net profit as per profit and loss account as a starting point. I will just draw the format and keep it ready here as well. We may need the format so that we can focus on the problem completely. Okay, so we will take net profit as per profit and loss account as the starting point. So I record over here net profit as per profit and loss account, which is given to you. The amount is 3,46,840. So I record that in the outer column. 3,46,840 is the net profit as per profit and loss account. Now, we can record these items to be added under three heads. We have expenses disallowed but debited to profit and loss account. That is one. Then second, we can take incomes allowed but are not credited to profit and loss account. So presently we will take those two. Then we have overvaluation of closing stock, undervaluation of opening stock. So the 3 points we have. So first we will record expenses disallowed, but debited to profit and loss account. You need not write this heading. You can directly go on adding all the items which are disallowed. But we will go heading wise. Expenses disallowed but debited to profit and loss account. Let's look at each of the item. Opening stock is a business item. Purchases also. Rent rates and taxes. There is a point given. In the point it's given that Mr. Deepak carries on his business from rented premises, half of which is used as his residence. So half of the house taken on rent is used for his residence and half is used for business. Rent rates and taxes include 2,600 paid as rent of the premises during the year. So rent portion of the residence part is disallowed. So I can record over here rent rates and taxes. In bracket I can write residence. Business related is a business expense, but residence related is not a business expense, and it's given the rent rates and taxes is 2,600 and it's given half of the house. So half of 2,600. So 2,600 into half. So 1,300 must be added back to profit because it is not a business expense. That's his personal expense. The next item given is general expenses 1,750. Pertaining to general expenses, it's given it includes 1,000 paid to CA in connection with income tax appeal before appellate tribunal. That is an allowed business expenditure. And rupees 850 being the cost of installing new telephone. So that is also allowed. So general expenses relates to business. So that is allowed. Then we talk about household expenses. So household expenses is given. Household expenses is not a business expense. So that amount will be added back to profit. So household expenses amount is 730 rupees. So household expenses is 730 rupees. Next item is establishment expenses, and definitely establishment expenses is a business expense. So that is allowed. Then we have customs duty paid. Customs duty paid is a normal business expense. Provision for bad debt. I just mentioned provisions, reserves are all disallowed. So I record provision for bad debts. Provision for bad debts is disallowed and provision amount is 1,200. So 1200 is the provision amount. Next we have postage and telegram. Postage and telegram is a business expense. Law charges. What is given pertaining to law charges? Law charges are in connection with protection of a trademark is given. So law charges is pertaining to business. So that is allowed. Then advertising is given 1550. Advertising expenses include 1550 spent on special advertising campaign to open a new shop in the market. So that is also an eligible business expense because that special advertising campaign relates to the new shop which is opened. So that is also allowed. The next item is gifts to employees. So gifts to employees is also allowed as a business expense. Then fire insurance is given, for goods is given 300 rupees. So that since it's for goods, it's a business expense. Audit fees is a regular business expense. Salaries is given 3000 rupees. Pertaining to salary, salaries include 200 per month drawn by Mr. Deepak as salary. So owner himself is giving salary to himself. So we can take salary of the proprietor, which is disallowed. Salary of the proprietor, and he is paying himself 200 rupees per month. So 200 into 12, 2400. So any payment made by the proprietor to himself in the form of salary, in the form of interest on capital, all those are disallowed. It must be added back. Then given repairs, not for business premises is clearly given. So we need to add back repairs because it is not related to business. And repairs amount is given 480 rupees. Repairs is 480. Then next item is loss on sale of car. It is mentioned very clearly used for private purpose. Since it is debited to profit and loss account, the profit has decreased. So it has to be added back because it's a personal expense. So loss on sale of private car. Loss on sale of private car. It is used for private purpose is given. So that is not a business expense. So it has to be added back. Next, life insurance premium. This is on the life of the businessman. So that's his personal expense. So we can record here life insurance premium. Life insurance premium. So life insurance premium 1790. Next we have wealth tax. Wealth tax is disallowed. Wealth tax also becomes a personal expense of the proprietor, and wealth tax is 740 rupees. Next we are given with interest on capital. Deepak is introducing capital, business is giving interest, means Deepak is giving interest on capital to himself. So that is not a business expense. So I record interest on capital, and interest on capital amount given is 350 rupees. 350. Next we are given with interest on bank loan. The last point says bank loan is taken for business purpose. So definitely interest on bank loan is a business expense. So that is allowed. Next we have provision for depreciation. So as I mentioned, provisions are disallowed. So provision for depreciation. Just depreciation would be allowed. But since it's a provision made out of profit, those are disallowed. So provision for depreciation is disallowed. I record 2500. Similarly, provision for tax, that is also disallowed. Provision for tax, that is also disallowed. So 3900 rupees. So this is the first heading, that is expenses disallowed but debited to profit and loss account. Next one that we can take is incomes allowed but not shown in profit and loss account. If there are any incomes and if it is not shown in the profit and loss account, those are to be added back. And usually such incomes will be given to us in the adjustment. So we are given with bad debts, we are given with income tax paid, depreciation allowable, salaries we have adjusted, advertising expenses no deduction, adding back, law charges relating to business, general expenses no addition. Then GST paid is given, that's an expense paid which has to be deducted. Then Deepak carries on business is given. So I will just write the heading, incomes allowed but not shown in the profit and loss account. Not shown, or you can say not credited in the profit and loss account. It is shown outside. So I record that incomes allowed, business income, or you can record income earned, incomes earned, business income earned, but not shown in the profit, not credited to profit and loss account. So there is nothing here. So as far as this heading is concerned, there isn't anything. Then we talk about expenses deducted in excess. Expenses deducted in excess. If there is any expenses and instead of deducting less amount, more amount has been deducted, then such expenses must be added back. Expenses deducted in in excess. Let's look at any item, whether there are any expenses deducted in excess. So that is also not mentioned over here. Then overvaluation of closing stock, undervaluation of opening stock. So we record overvaluation of closing stock and undervaluation of opening stock. Remember, due to overvaluation of closing stock, so we record the profit has increased. Yes, undervaluation of opening stock, profit has decreased. Overvaluation of closing stock, the profit has increased. So undervaluation of closing stock, and overvaluation of opening stock. So undervaluation of closing stock will result in decrease in profit. So that must be added back. Overvaluation of opening stock has resulted in decrease in profit. So that must be also added back. Now point to note, if any items are there under this heading, you can record. If there are no items, as in this problem, you need not write these headings at all. So what I can do is, I can total this. These are the amounts to be added. So we have 0, then we have 8 plus 3 is 11, 20, 24, 29. So 9 and 2. So 12, 13, 14, 18, 22, 30, 37, 44, 47, 52, 61, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17,190 are the amounts to be added. 17,190. So we'll add it to 3,46,840. So when you add, we get 0. Then we get 4 plus 9 is 13. So that's 1, 9, 10, 0, 1, 7. So we have 0, then 9 plus 4 is 13, 3, 1, 9, 10, 0, 1, 6 plus 7 is 13, 1 is 14, 4, 1, 5, 6. So we get 3,64,000. We have 3,64,030. 3,64,030 is the total. So 3,46,000. 3,46,000, 50, 53, 63, 63,90, 64,030. Then we look at deductions. Then we look at various deductions that are there. So first, incomes either exempt or taxable under other heads. Incomes which are either exempt from tax or taxable under other heads, comma, if credited to profit and loss account. So incomes either exempt or taxable under other heads if credited to profit and loss account. So if you have included any exempt income, or if you have included any income under the head other sources, other heads, then such incomes must be excluded such incomes must be excluded. If it is credited to profit and loss account, it must be deducted. So let's look at the credit side. Sales is a business income, closing stock is a business income. Then we have interest on tax-free Government of India bonds. Now remember, this is taxable under the head other sources. Or tax-free Government of India is given, this is an actually exempt income. So this is credited to profit and loss account, profit has increased, so it must be deducted. Then dividend from foreign companies, this is taxable under the head other sources, dividend from foreign companies. Dividend from foreign companies is given. So this is taxable under the head other sources, the amount is 3,000. The amount is 3,000. Next we have interest on Karnataka government loan. This also comes under the head other sources. Interest on Karnataka government loan. So this is covered under other sources head. Amount is 2,400. 2,400. Then we have interest on fixed deposit of SBI. This is also covered under other sources. Interest on FD in SBI, amount is 18,000. So we record 18,000 in the inner amount column. Then we have dividend on preference shares of Reliance Company. Dividend on preference shares of Reliance Company. Now point to note, Reliance is an Indian company and any dividend received is exempt from tax. So since it is included here to the credit, it must be excluded. That means it must be deducted. So 3,000 rupees. Rent from house property will be taken under the head house property. It is not a business income related item. So it must be excluded. Rent from house property is 1,06,400. So 1,06,400 is rent from house property. Then discount received is a business income. Commission received is a business income. Then we have income tax refund. Income tax refund is an exempt income. Income tax refund. Excess amount of income tax that you paid, you get a refund. So that is an exempt income. So that would be 1,000. So these are the items which are either exempt or taxable under other heads, but these are credited to profit and loss account. So these items do not form a part of business income. Since these are credited, profit and loss account balance has increased, so these numbers must be excluded. Then let's talk about the next heading, expenses allowed. Expenses allowed but not debited to profit and loss account. There may be certain expenses, business related expenses, which are allowed, but due to some reason it is given outside profit and loss account. Let's check. We are given with the item actual bad debts written off during the year amounted to 550. Actual bad debts. Bad debt is a business loss, so it must be deducted. So bad debts. Remember, provision for bad debts is disallowed. Any provision given over here, provision for bad debt, provision for depreciation, provision for tax, all provisions must be added back. But when bad debts are given, bad debt is deductible. So I take 550 rupees. Then amount of income tax actually paid during the year is 4,200. See, provision for tax we have added back. Now income tax actually paid is 4,200. Point to note, since we are talking about sole proprietorship business, whatever profit is earned, that belongs to the sole trader. That belongs to the proprietor. So income tax payable is the personal expense of the proprietor. So if you are given in the problem income tax paid, payable, provision for tax, all are disallowed. So income tax paid will not be deductible. Then there is depreciation allowable rupees 1,900 as per income tax rule. So depreciation must be deductible, because this is depreciation allowed under section 32. It's given very clearly, depreciation allowable, and depreciation section is 32 under Income Tax Act, and depreciation allowable is 1,900 rupees. 1,900. Okay, the fourth point is salaries include. We have already taken salaries, 2,400 we have added back. Then advertising campaign is allowed. Law charges are business related expense. General expenses a connection to that expenses are related. Then we have GST of rupees 20,000 for the previous year 1920 was paid on 15th of January. That is for the previous year 1819 was paid on 15th January 2020. That is in this year. But it is not included in the above profit and loss account. And remember, GST is a business expense because when the business is selling, business is going to collect money from the customers and the same GST amount has to be deposited with the government. So as far as GST is concerned, taxes are concerned, it is deductible on paid basis. If the amount is not paid, there is no question of deduction. But if the amount is paid, it is deductible. So GST is paid during the year, but the amount is not shown in profit and loss account. And GST is an expense, so 20,000 must be deducted. It is included in the list of deduction. Expenses allowed, but these expenses are not debited to profit and loss account. Then we are given with Mr. Deepak carries on business from his rented premises, half of which is used as his residence. So we have added back the residence portion of the rent. So this is expenses allowed but not debited to profit and loss account. Like we have undervaluation. In the deduction column, we have this overvaluation of closing stock. Sometimes if the closing stock is overvalued, the profit will increase, so it must be deducted. And undervaluation of opening stock. When opening stock is undervalued, once the profit increases. So if there is any overvaluation of closing stock and undervaluation of opening stock in the problem, that must be deducted. So neither of the two is given in this particular problem. So we just write dash. These are the various headings. So once again I tell you, if you want you can write the heading and write the items under the head. But it is not compulsory that you have to write the headings. You can just go on adding all the items to be added if it is disallowed. Deducting exempt incomes or taxable under other heads income if it is credited to profit and loss account. Then expenses allowed but those not debited to profit and loss account means profit has increased because it is not debited, so must be deducted now because these are expenses. So let's put together how much is the amount to be deducted. So we have 0, then we have 5, then we have 4, 8. 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 9 is 22. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 20, 26, 27, 28. 28, then we have 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, then we have 1. So deduction amount is 1,58,250. So once again I just add back. So we have 0, we have 5, then we have 4 plus 8, 17 plus 5 is 22, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 20, 27, 28. So 8 and 2, 3, 4. So we have 0, 5, then 8, 17, 22, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 20, 26, 27, 28. Yes, 8 and 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So 1,58,250 is the amount to be deducted. Therefore, we will have taxable business income. Taxable business income. So from this number, we are going to deduct taxable business income. So we get 0, 13 minus 5 is 8, 9 minus 2 will be 7, 13 minus 8 will be 5, 5 minus 5 will be 0, 3 minus 1 will be 2. So 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 3 lakh 58, 63, 64, 30. Yes. So 2,05,780 will be the taxable business income. So let's go through this problem once again. Important point to note when you are solving problem on business income, and that is provisions and reserves are disallowed. Any payment made by the proprietor to himself, it can be in the form of salary, it can be in the form of interest on capital, all those are disallowed. Any expenses not connected to the business are disallowed. These are all basic points that we need to be aware of when we are solving problems under business, under the head business income. So profit and loss account, net profit will always be taken as starting point. Suppose in the problem net loss is given, you will take this number in bracket. Here profit is given, so we leave the number open. Then the first heading that we have is expenses disallowed but debited to profit and loss account. It's given that proprietor, the owner of the business, is using half the house for his residence and the rent paid is 2,600. So in that 1,300 relates to residence, which is not a business expense. Relating to business is the remaining half. So 1,300 is disallowed, must be added back to profit. Then household expenses relating to his house, provisions as I mentioned disallowed, salary of the proprietor, he is paying himself 200 rupees per month, so into 12 is 2,400. Repairs is given very clearly not for business. Since it's given not for business, it is added back. If simply the word repairs would have been given, not for business premises wouldn't have been given, we wouldn't have added it back. Then loss on sale of private car, this is a private car, nothing to do with business, so added back. Life insurance premium is businessman's personal expense because he is paying premium on his own life. So that is disallowed, so added back. Wealth tax is disallowed, that's again a personal expense. Interest on capital, businessman is giving himself, so that is also disallowed. Any provisions are disallowed, whether it's for depreciation or taxation, so we add back. Then the next heading we have is incomes earned but not credited to profit and loss account. If there is any income given outside profit and loss account, means profit balance has come down because it is not credited. So if there are any such incomes, it must be added back. Now in this problem, there is no such income. Then we have expenses deducted in excess. There is an expense but is deducted more. For example, rent is actually 3,800. Business has deducted 4,500, 700 rupees more. If that is the case, you will add back that excess amount deducted. There is no such expenses deducted in excess, so we put a dash. Then we have undervaluation of closing stock. Because of undervaluation, the profit decreases. So it must be added back. Or overvaluation of opening stock. When there is overvaluation of opening stock, again the profit will decrease, so it must be added back. There is no undervaluation of closing stock, no overvaluation of opening stock given in the problem, so just put a dash. So we add up these numbers, we get 17,190. So 3,46,840 plus 17,190, 346, 50, 53, 363, 64, 30. So 3,64,030 we get. Then from this we deduct incomes either exempt from tax or taxable under other heads if credited to profit and loss account. So we check the credit side of profit and loss account. If there is any exempt income or if there is any income which is taxable under other heads, not business head, then those incomes must be deducted. We have interest on tax-free Government of India bond. This is actually an exempt income. But since it is credited to profit and loss account, it must be deducted. Dividend from foreign companies is taxable under other sources, taxable under other heads. Since it is credited to profit and loss account, it must be deducted. Interest on Karnataka government loan, interest on FD on State Bank of India, then all these are taxable under other sources. And since it is credited to profit and loss account, profit has increased, so it must be deducted. Then dividend on preference shares of Reliance company is basically exempt from tax, but since the dividend income is credited to profit and loss account, it must be excluded. It must be deducted. Then rent from house property is taken under the house property head, but since it is credited to profit and loss account, it must be excluded from here. Similarly, income tax refund is exempt from tax. So these are the items which are either exempt or taxable under other heads. If it is there, it must be deducted. Then we have heading expenses allowed but not debited to profit and loss account. If there is any expense which is given outside profit and loss account, we have 3 examples here. Then it must be deducted, because if these expenses would have shown in profit and loss account, automatically the profit would have decreased. Now since it is shown outside, it must be deducted. We have bad debts allowed 550, depreciation allowable under section 32 is 1,900. Then GST is paid during the year, but it is not shown in profit and loss account, so GST must also be deducted. And the next heading is overvaluation of closing stock. When you overvalue closing stock, the profit will increase, so this must be deducted. Undervaluation of opening stock. When opening stock is undervalued, the profit will increase. That's why it must be deducted. So there is no such item given in the problem for any of these. So we total the amount to be deducted, we get 1,58,250, and from 3,64,30 we deduct 1,58,250, we arrive at taxable business income of 2,05,780. So I hope this problem on business income is clear. Thank you.